Good morning, everybody. It is February 24th, Monday morning, 9 a.m., bright and early. Hope you all are doing well. This is NACHOS, the Neuro-Affirming Conversation Hour for Outreach and Support. It is February 24th, 2025. Welcome. Here at NACHOS, we are a place where we like to celebrate connection, creativity, and small acts that nourish our minds and spirits. This is a production of Humanities 101. I am your host, Doc, and I'm here to take you on a little journey today. And today, we are taking a delicious and mindful detour as we celebrate National Tortilla Day, a nod to the humble yet transformative tortilla, the foundation of many beloved dishes, including our titular nachos. Just as each tortilla wraps a mixture of flavor and textures into something extraordinary, so too does stepping away from the daily grind. It wraps us in moments of relaxation and self-care and creates spaces for healing, reflection, and creativity. In a world filled with constant demands, today's theme reminds us that sometimes the best way to nurture our well-being is to step back, savor each bite, and take a moment to reset. A perfect ingredient for leveraging the power of rest, reconnection, and rejuvenation. So join us as we explore the nourishing power of pausing, both in the kitchen and in life, as we dive into National Tortilla Day with a side of self-care. So welcome again to our Neuro-Affirming Conversation Hour for Outreach and Support, a time where we blend mindfulness with a dash of culinary delight. So on National Tortilla Day, we celebrate more than just a delicious staple of our cuisine in the United States. Yes, the tortilla is a staple in the United States cuisine. We honor the tortilla as a symbol of nourishment, cultural heritage, and the creative spirit that unites us. So just as the tortilla forms the essential base, let's remember, right? Let's savor the texture of life. So in this space where every journey is celebrated as an epic tale of challenges met and triumphs earned, we blend the comfort of familiar flavors with the power of mindful rest. So let's savor today's conversation as we explore how taking that well-deserved break can transform the mundane into the extraordinary, much like turning simple nachos and simple tortillas into a plate of vibrant nachos that both nourish the body and the soul. I had some really great nachos over the weekend at my sister's 50th birthday. And she said all she wanted for her 50th were nachos and beer. She got that and then some. We had a Disney-themed 50th birthday, and everybody dressed up. It was really great. I went as Bruno because I'm the brother that no one talks about. So, again, we're going to start off talking about journeys, and every day on Nachos, every Monday, I like to start with a quote. And even though I started you off with the reminder of National Tortilla Day, I would like to start you off with another Tolkien quote. So it's like the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered, full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't know how they would end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. So much like this timeless narratives that inspire us, I want you to think of Samwise Gamgee's quiet reflection that even darkness must pass. Our lives are composed of moments of both struggle and beauty, and today we open a new chapter dedicated to an often overlooked narrative, the transformative power of stepping away. Taking a break is not an act of indulgence, it's a bold act of self-preservation. So a feature highlighted in phys.org delved deep into the neuroscience behind time away from our daily routines. Researchers there revealed that scheduled downtime does more than just provide a respite from stress. It triggers measurable improvements in cognitive function. Now, this study noted that periods of rest are associated with reduced stress hormone levels, cortisol, our evil, evil enemy. But the study also noted that periods of rest were associated with enhanced neuroplasticity and even improved problem-solving abilities. So these findings underscored that stepping away, a vacation from work, a vacation from the news, be it a planned vacation or even a few intentional minutes off of work, is a strategic investment in our mental agility and our long-term well-being. Now, if we could just get our bosses on board with that and get more vacation, because as we know in the United States, most people do not use the vacation that they have. They die with vacation on the books. And by God, it's your time, use it. And so if you're sitting there today and you're thinking, it's Monday and I could go and do this and I could go do that and I could have a pedicure and you have a personal day, take that personal day. And if you don't have personal days, remember that mental health days are sick days too. Mental health days are sick days too. So take them. If pregnant women have to use sick time for maternity leave, by God, you can use sick time for a little mental health respite. So let's remember, though, that self-care isn't just limited to long breaks. It thrives in micro moments that anchor us to the present. We're all about micro accommodations here, small little ways that have big impact. And so these small little moments that can anchor you in the present. So a recent Science Daily study employed advanced neuroimaging techniques to uncover how brief interactions with nature can rejuvenate the brain. In this study, participants who spent as little as 10 minutes in a green setting, a park or under a tree, or even in a garden, showed significant increase in brain connectivity in the regions responsible for emotional regulation and creative thinking. So think about that. 10 minutes in a green setting, and that showed that significant increase in connectivity in the regions with emotional regulation and creative thinking. So going to the woods, as Shakespeare said, is a creative process. So this research highlighted that this natural exposure not only lowered cortisol levels, our evil friend cortisol, but also helped restore attention and improve overall mood. It's like pressing a refresh button for your mind, enabling you to return to your tasks and renew focus and serenity. And I do this. I started doing this a couple months ago. Even in the dead of winter, I will stand up in a meeting, walk out of the building, take a lap around the building, breathe some fresh air, see some green, hear some birds, and then walk right back into the meeting. And it's amazing. The rejuvenation, the levels, and maybe I'll have to take a monitor with me and start taking down numbers, doing some research on myself, because it's measurable in my soul. So I'm sure it's measurable in my body. And so, think about ways in which you can connect to nature, even if you're in the city, a green space, a park, right? Literally touching grass helps. And I know that I give cortisol a bad rap, and cortisol does have its place in our brain. So I know, neuroscientists, I know you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but we wallow in that shit so much that I just want us to free ourselves of the cortisol. So again, go out and touch some grass, people. Hug a tree. It's good for your brain. It's good for your emotional regulation, and it's good for your creative thinking. And it's good for connection. And so speaking of connection, let's get real disconnected from the present and let's go back to Iron Age Britain, where a groundbreaking study from Trinity College in Dublin offers profound insights into ancient social structures. They sequenced over 50 ancient genomes from Dorset, and researchers uncovered a compelling genetic evidence of a matrilocal society where lineage, land, and identity were passed through the mother's side. Now, these findings suggest that men move to live with their wives' families, fostering environments of shared responsibility and a robust community support. So, this genetic analysis, complemented by archaeological evidence, paints a vivid picture of a society that revered kinship and collaboration. Right? So, when we think of Iron Age Britain, we don't often think of collaboration, but here is not only the archaeological, but the genetic evidence. So it challenges modern assumptions because we do often retcon the past. So it reminds us that the strength of community has deep historical roots. And I can't think of anyone who exemplifies this more than the influential figure like Boudica, right? That fierce warrior who sits in bronze in the center of one of the greatest cities in the world, right? But when the Romans did the crap they did to her husband and then to her daughters, she and her daughters rode on the Romans and scared the ever-loving shit out of them. And so we know that Boudica's, leadership is woven into the fabric of society, right? Where women played these central empowering roles. And so this research shows that often we will write ourselves into history rather than read the history as it is written in the dirt and in the archaeological record. Because again, we know of Boudica, we know of women warriors, and we know of matrilineal and matrilocal societies outside of Western societies that benefited and thrived and survived. And so this is just one of many. And this is proof that even in places like, Dorset? In places like Dorset, there were these matrilocal societies, female-centered, and that men left their families and cleaved to woman. Almost biblical, but they weren't biblical, okay? So, remember here at Nachos that we believe that the journey to self-care and community connection is as heroic as any epic quest. And it really is an epic quest. If you've watched the Tolkien movies, if you've read the books, if you're a fantasy fan, you know there's a lot of walking. A lot of walking. And even though the movies may be long to some of you, they cut out a lot of that walking and a lot of that downtime. And so self-care is an arduous, long, sometimes drawn out process. So every mindful pause, every moment of immersion in nature, and every act of kindness, whether directed inward or outward towards others, they contribute to this richer, more resilient life. And so as you navigate your day, I want you to let these moments of rest and reflection be the essential chapters in your own extraordinary story. Give yourself permission to pause. Give yourself permission to breathe, and give yourself permission to reconnect with the beauty of both your inner world and the world around you. Here in the space that we create together, right? Both here on the YouTube channel and on Twitch and on TikTok and Facebook and also on the Discord. Again, check out the link tree if you haven't checked that out, humanities101.org. And all of those places, right? We're working to build this space together where each act that we take of self-care and every step towards building community is in and of itself a heroic deed. Because we are transforming the ordinary, the everyday good acts of everyday people like us into extraordinary narratives in a life and collectively lives of purpose, resilient, and heart. So throughout history, humanity has thrived on the bonds that connect and create care and build resilience. Every era reminds us that kindness whether expressed towards others or extended inward as self-compassion, is not merely a moral luxury, but a vital survival skill. Now, listen to that, a vital survival skill. We would not be here as mammals if we didn't connect. So, our collective past is filled with stories where empathy and mutual support forged communities and enabled individuals to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. These timeless lessons underscore that the foundation of human flourishing is built on caring deeply for one another and caring deeply for ourselves. So, what can we take away from today's conversation? First of all, understand that stepping away, even briefly, is not an act of selfishness. It's critical to your self-care, and it's an investment in your well-being. So whether it's a vacation, a daycation, a staycation, a PTO day, or a pause in your hectic day, stealing away with your phone for an extra long trip to the bathroom, give yourself the space to rest and recharge. This is essential. In these moments of pause, you nurture your creativity, you restore your inner balance, and you equip yourself to face life's challenges with renewed vigor. Nature, too, plays a profound role in our healing journey. The gentle embrace of a natural world, a quiet walk under a vast sky, a moment spent among towering trees, offers all of us more than just a visual treat. It serves as a powerful reminder of our intrinsic connection to something much larger, bigger, and greater than ourselves. Even short bursts of time spent in nature or touching grass can clear our mind, soothe our spirit, and help us rediscover the beauty of the present moment. So history also teaches us about the transformative power of community and shared care. So consider that ancient matrilocal society like the one in Dorset, Britain, where strength was found in kinship and collective support rather than isolation and us being our own islands. Their way of life and their resilience, despite all that they faced throughout history, shows that the true power emerges from our ability to connect with others, share our burdens, and celebrate our triumphs together. This legacy invites us to look around and appreciate the importance of building and nurturing our own communities today. So as you continue throughout your day, remember that kindness starts with you. It is reflected in the way that you speak to yourself, the moments you carve out for rest, and the deliberate effort you make to foster relationships that nourish and uplift you. So whether you're planning a serene getaway, taking a mindful break in the open air, or embracing the warmth of community, know that these actions are not just fleeting. They lay the groundwork for a rich life of purpose and fulfillment. And as you all know, I'm a big fan of Viktor Frankl, and he says that is our drive in life. Unlike Adler, who says that we seek power, and Freud, who says we seek pleasure, Frankl says we seek purpose, meaning, logotherapy. So give yourself permission to pause. Give yourself permission to breathe deeply, and give yourself permission to revel in the transformative power of self-care today. In every great narrative, including your own, kindness, rest, and connection are the unsung heroes that elevate everyday moments into extraordinary transformations. Well, rest, kindness, connection, and lembas bread. It's always lembas bread, but I digress. Remember to embrace these truths and watch as your life unfolds with more resilience, joy, and profound meaning. Now, again, when we think about ways in which we can create meaning, ways in which we can come together, as I end today, I just want to remind people that there are ways that we can commune. Those are coming up very, very close in the schedule here. I just have to remind people that, if you're a student of mine in a Humanities 101 class in a college, your first project is due at the end of this week. And that is the Turing test. And it is just simply answering those questions in a video format. You don't have to make them public, right? But you're going to post those in the Google Classroom space, in the assignment section, right? So make that file available to me. Again, I will be having a Google Meet, so you can check out the classroom space for that. I'll have that probably on Wednesday. I'm thinking Wednesday evening, meet for Google Meet. So I will post that and answer any questions if people have questions about the assignment. There's also an on-campus lecture on April 16th. So mark your calendar if you're an online student. K014. So in the basement of the Liberal Arts Building, I'll be discussing the myths of autism for Autism Awareness Month. Extra credit for online students who attend. So if you attend this event where you will be fed, you can get extra credit. So for this week's participation, you are going to be asked, just softly, no hard RSVP, but are you thinking about coming? Are you on campus on Wednesdays? Yes or no? Might you come to this event? So just comment down here in the chat. Yes, I might be coming. No, I probably won't be coming. Again, it's just a way that I can gauge your participation and see if you stuck around this long. Now, I will also be delivering that lecture on April 15th in Grand Blanc, Michigan at the Genesee District Library. So if you're in the Flint area, you can check me out. I'll be covering the myths of autism at the Genesee District Library. And I will also be on the other peninsula, not the upper peninsula, the other peninsula in Florida at PolyCon in Lakeland, Florida during our spring break on the 15th of March. I will be traveling through a bunch of states on the 12th, 13th, and 14th, making a bunch of visits. So if you or someone you know would like someone to come and educate them on autism and its myths, that's a perfect time to do that. I'm going to be stopping and doing one little lecture in Auburn, but it's a private lecture for a small group of professionals. And so I've already got one thing booked. So if you're interested, 12th, 13th, 14th, hit me up, info@humanities101.org. But PolyCon runs 10 to 5 in Lakeland, Florida at Florida Polytechnic University. So I'll be there talking about microaccommodations, autism, and doing a little outreach and support. I would love to see anybody there. Come up, let me know that you check us out on NACHOS, that you pop in. And always remember, if you're looking to build community, we have that community. We have a monthly discussion group that will be meeting next week on March 6th. We meet in the evenings so that we can hit both West Coast, Central, and East Coast people. But we get together and we discuss all things life, work, relationships, with the tinge of neurodivergence and autism. So the questions that you don't want to ask people, it's a place to do that. But we also talk about ways to self-care, ways to address executive dysfunction, all of those things that affect the autistic mind and cause us distress. We work on ways to deal with that. Again, I am a certified parent coach, certified professional coach, all of that other stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, hit me up. I am now certified to do Neuro-Affirming parental coaching called COHU, COTHU, from Awesome Training out of Ireland. It's a wonderful parental program. It's a 5-week program with as many as 12 parents, so 6 parent groups. Single parents also welcome. You don't have to have a partner to be there. But we talk about ways in which you can help your newly diagnosed or newly identified autistic child. And it really is about setting environments in which they can thrive and excel. And a lot of times it just has to do with resetting our own personal framework and resetting the ways in which we see ourselves in both the world and within our own homes. And so if you're interested in any of that, you can definitely email info@humanities101.org. I can run those classes kind of boutique based upon your schedules or based upon, what is needed for your parent group. So please reach out. We are here to help. in any way that we can. So either if you are an individual with autism and you're struggling, or if you're a parent of an autistic child and you're struggling, please reach out. If we don't have the resources, we will put you in touch with the people who do have the resources. And I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of times I don't know those answers. But I'll search them out for you or search out the people who can answer them for you. So I do wish you all the best for this week. It is the last week of February. So let's take February and seal it with a big old bow or a middle finger, whichever one is yours, your kind of forte. And remember, when you don't know what to do, search yourself.
Let's do it, everybody.
Don't always listen to that guy. But, when you don't know what to do, kind of, again, search yourself and ask, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that I choose to do? Because often, again, these small acts of everyday kindness and goodness are things that we have to consciously do. And we have to make little decisions for big ideas. And so going forward, as I always say, remember what would Fred do? And be that Fred Rogers, who would say, you're special just the way you are, and I love you. Or if it's Fred Hampton, who reminds you that you are a revolutionary. Either one works. And go out and enjoy the rest of your February and have a tortilla today. Enjoy National Tortilla Day. All right?
Let's do it, everybody.
Let's do it indeed, Travis. All right, everyone. Signing off for Nachos. The last one of February 2025. I'll see you in March.